Um, uh, I can hear. Is another pedagogical approach similar to the problem-based learning approach that one colleague mentioned before. And the very beautiful thing of this consortium is that we use the European fundings, special Erasmus funding, for the mobility of students. So students from, I don't know, Dublin City University or from Kaunas Technology University can come to Trento and participate, attend a challenge as well. Our university from Trento can go to the Aveiro University in Portugal or to Twente University in Netherlands and attend challenges organized by the other universities. That's very interesting. Other initiatives are the Enactus. Maybe you know this initiative is the international one about the social entrepreneurship. Another one is the business design. Sorry, it's in Italian because this is an initiative for lifelong learners that want to start a startup, a company, and it's called business design. So it's not for students; it's for people who are outside of the academia, and this initiative is completely for free. Let's talk about another reality, which is the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Texas State University. You can see in the map precisely where we are. It's a huge campus. There are almost 40,000 students. I want to show you, I don't know, yes, my screen is allowing me to share the campus. I want to show you how big is the campus in comparison to the town. Let me zoom out a little bit. So where you can see the stars, you can see all the centers and departments working on innovation and entrepreneurship, and the rest is the town. And in this campus, there is also the incubator, the university incubator, which is a little far from the campus, and it's very, very interesting. I want to come back to my, I need help maybe. I need to come back to the, sorry, but I have this. Sorry for bothering you, or maybe, okay, perfect, gotcha. So it's in this, so I was telling about the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Texas State University. They have lots of similar initiatives. So, for example, they have Ignite, which is a weekend for entrepreneurial discovery. It's an ABC, the basis of entrepreneurship. So if you don't know anything about entrepreneurship, you go there, and in 3 days you will have a broader perspective, a broader overview of what is entrepreneurship. Deep dive is like the farther step. It's a weekend for people who have really an idea, but they don't know how to start. And then there are other initiatives like Future Maker Studios. This is for people who have like a more advanced idea, and can help to have like some mentorship from investors or other entrepreneurs. And then New Ventures is another initiative, and another one, maybe probably you know if you are in the US, is the ICOR initiative. It's a federal initiative, and it's about helping promoting entrepreneurship among faculties, especially from STEM. So faculty are trained in business, and they can apply for federal funding in order to follow next steps and develop their business ideas, make a patent, for example, and commercialize their product or service. This is a very drafted and preliminary comparison between the School of Innovation and the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So these two realities are very different in lots of features. For example, the characteristics. So the School of Innovation is a very strategical center. It's an interdepartmental center, while the Texan Center is come more from the College of Business. The organizational structure is more or less the same. Also, the programs portfolio are different. So, at the School of Innovation, we deliver courses and challenges, while in the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Texas, they have a more like spots, like very short events, like workshops or labs. We accept 120 students per year, while the Texan Center accepts everybody. There is no limits. The communication strategy is almost the same. The external relations is different. So the School of Innovation is very embedded at the local, but also in the regional and European level. while the Texan center is related to the local community. And another important difference is the physical space. So at the School of Innovation, as you can see, we have one open space, while in Texas State, there is no physical space, but the different initiatives are spread all over the campus. Some highlights. So, what are the strengths of the School of Innovation? It's an interdisciplinarity center, and for me, it's a strength because it allows students to work with people who come from different disciplines, right? There is a very strong network between the school and the local actors. There is one identified space. There is a very strong relationship with local incubators. Fun fact, we don't have a university accelerator incubator because we rely on the local incubators. So the university has no incubators. But this can be a weakness, but also a strength in a way. As I wrote here, a weakness can be a strength. Concerning innovation entrepreneurship, so the strength is this very interesting initiative that we don't have, the so-called entrepreneurs in residence. These are people, are entrepreneurs who work on the campus and are mentor or expert and deliver courses and competitions. And this can be a very good idea that my university can apply, for example. Another thing that is very interesting is the trusted peer system, which is a network. It's a sort of LinkedIn that combines students with mentors. They have a PhD for STEM with business courses, a minor in entrepreneurship, and of course the American standard is higher than the Italian one, so they have more budget, more resources than ours, and they have a proper university incubator. The weakness from this center is that, as I saw, there is less connection with the department, there is no space, a specific space dedicated to activities, and there is less connection with the other university offices, and I would add with regional and other, for example, other universities. In conclusion, so both universities are trying to become more entrepreneurial in different ways. The School of Innovation is more likely to foster sustainability than the tax one. And the School of Innovation, I didn't mention before, but they have a very strong connection with the teaching and learning centers. So we are trying to train the teachers in the entrepreneurship education. And the Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship in Texas has a great infrastructure. Some recommendations to become a sustainable entrepreneurial university are stimulate improved interdisciplinarity, foster collaboration among the internal offices, try to develop more connection with other universities, maybe using other networks, other consortia, etc. Try to include these sustainable development goals and sustainability in the programs, in the entrepreneurship and innovation programs. Find new sources of funding, also because an entrepreneurial university should be sustainable also in the finance, in their funding, and achieve, the standard of a sustainable entrepreneurial university. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm here for receiving your questions and feedback. I'm really open to collaboration, and that's it. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. I'm the funding. Sorry, one second, let's get some feedback. Thank you. So one of the recommendations was look at sources of funding for entrepreneurship programs. Is that still feedback? Any feedback to that? That's much better. Thank you. Yeah, so going back to funding, notoriously difficult in general, not just in entrepreneurial education, and given the high mortality rate of entrepreneurs or startups, how, just really curious, how do you have any advice as to how to make applications for funding? What measures, such as KPIs or ROI, or how do you justify maybe justification for funding for entrepreneurial programs, given that it's such a notoriously risky venture space?
Thank you very much for the question. Very interesting and intriguing. So I'm going to tell about these two case studies. So from the Italian perspective, we try to receive funds from different levels. The first level, the most common level, is the European one. So we try to apply Erasmus funds funding related to innovation and entrepreneurship projects. In my presentation, maybe you saw the ECIU. I told you about this European consortium. Is funded by the European Commission, and it helps universities to become more entrepreneurial, to foster entrepreneurial education programs, etc. So this is one way we have. Another way is to build relations among the universities and try to apply for other European projects. And maybe you saw another logo in my presentation, which was BookEU. That is a funny name. The acronym stands for Boosting Innovation and Entrepreneurship among European Universities. This is another project. So in Italy and in general in Europe, we try to get funding from the European Commissions. In Italy, another way is our current PNRR, which is a governmental plan for the country, for the resilience and infrastructure and the research. So we have this kind of national fundings that helps the creation of academic startups. So startups coming from faculty and mostly, or from students. But concerning recommendations, I should say that in Italy we should become, let's say, more American sometimes, not 100%, right? Because I like my Italian identity. But what I saw here is that companies and alumni are very engaged with their universities. So, for example, I like when an alumni that was successful in his or her life want to give back to his or her university in funding some research center or some entrepreneurship programs. I think we should do that also in Italy. Try to be more engaged with our alumni that are very huge sources of funding, and also try to engage the companies, because also companies can be positively impacted by a university. So this is my main recommendation for the Italian part. For the American one, maybe well, they do a very good job in funding, actually, in my perspective at least. But what I can say is that maybe they could be more engaged with other universities. In my perspective, I saw that the American universities are working alone, and they have difficulties in working together, in do networking. But they are trying to do that because 10 days ago I attended a Dallas conference. It was a global consortium of entrepreneurship center, and there were lots of American universities, entrepreneurship centers, and they are trying to build this network, and this can be another source of funding. Thank you. I don't know if I answered your question.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you very much. I just wonder if there's any online questions. No, I think. Oh, sorry. One in the back.
Come on the stage. So they can see you.
Thank you for the amazing presentation. I really, enjoyed this international perspective again. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm attending the conference, actually. So thank you for your experiences and observations. And I think also, I mean, now you're discussing about the differences in funding and how one may be more successful than the other, and also how dependent that is in some ways on the interest and collaborations of both of alumni, staff, wider community stakeholders, and so on. I guess my question is about the relationships. The relationships seem to be at the foundation of everything. I mean, funding is one thing, but then you need, it seems like these programs are depending on champions, one champion maybe, which may be a professor, yourself, you know, somebody who's going to promote the program. Is that sustainable? I mean, how do we engage and create these champions for the survival and the continuation of the entrepreneurial program? Because funding seems to come once you have the champion. If you don't have the champion, where do you go?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Rosalisa, for your question. Yes, indeed. So, and above relationship, there is trust, and so we have to pick to identify these champions, these reference people among all these entities. And so, coming back to the Italian example, at the School of Innovation, we have a program manager who is really involved in the connection with the local stakeholders, and we have also some other people who are working for fostering this network, for strengthening this network. And it's not simple because maybe you can work for a short period with these actors, and then something happened and the relations is like blocked for some reason. COVID was another factor that stopped for a while, just for a while. Then we found a new way to come through this external factor that is unforeseen. And so you have internal and external factors that can impact in this creation, in this building of trust and relationship. But having a reference, having a champion is not easy. You have to train these people, and these people have to be very engaged, very rooted in the community. Otherwise, they will lose their attention, their consideration, and it's true. It's totally true. So yeah, the relationship is the basis for making the university an entrepreneurial university. Because yeah, things pass through people. People is the main resources. The social resources is the basis of entrepreneurial university. Yeah. Thank you for the insight. Thank you. Other questions?
One more question.
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour madame.
Je m'appelle madame Zaline.
Enchantée.
Oui. Vous avez parlé d'un centre interdisciplinaire. Alors, je voudrais savoir l'objectif de ce centre et avoir un exemple qui appuie l'objectif que vous avez atteindre. Juste cette question.
Merci beaucoup pour la question. Je vais continuer en français. Donc, oui, le School of Innovation, c'est un centre interdisciplinaire. On essaye de promouvoir l'interdisciplinarité et l'entrepreneuriat, l'innovation parmi les étudiants, parmi les gens qui ne sont pas à l'université et parmi les professeurs. On essaye de promouvoir l'entrepreneuriat parmi différentes initiatives. Les initiatives principales sont, par exemple, des courses qui ont l'objectif de donner les fondamentales, les choses fondamentales, les éléments fondamentaux, pour créer une start-up, par exemple, pour entamer une entreprise, pour entamer un business. Et oui, nous invitons des experts et des professeurs par différentes disciplines. Et donc, we have, sorry, c'est difficile de parler en français et en anglais en même temps, et je suis italienne, donc j'ai un peu de confusion. Mais l'exemple que je vais vous donner, c'est que les étudiants vont travailler ensemble pour résoudre un problème sous différentes perspectives. Par exemple, il y a une entreprise qui doit résoudre le problème de mobilité dans la ville. Et le problème de la mobilité, c'est vraiment complexe. Pour le résoudre, il faut plusieurs disciplines, il faut plusieurs matières considérées. Il faut considérer plusieurs disciplines. Donc, on a les informaticiens qui travaillent avec les sociologues, qui travaillent avec les philosophes, qui travaillent avec les anthropologues. Et tous ces étudiants qui proviennent de différentes disciplines essayent de résoudre le problème, qui est très complexe, en apportant différentes perspectives, différents points de vue. C'est à travers ça qu'on arrive à expérimenter l'interdisciplinarité dans ce centre. Merci beaucoup. D'autres questions?